Hi soulmates, you're welcome back to Amasalon Stitches. So today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful bustier with an empire waistline. This is in this video you'll be learning how to make a well contoured bustier without bust caging, without boning, just your normal contoured bustier with padding. Okay, so I'll be showing you the right way to achieve a standing bustier. You don't need to cage it, you don't need to do any extra magic. Okay, so guys, if this is the kind of video you want to see, keep watching. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel, as I'll be dropping videos weekly so you get notified. Okay, so you might also want to turn on your notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. All right, so guys, without wasting much time, let's dive right into the tutorial. All right, so welcome to the drafting table. So the first thing you want to do is just to mark your starting point. As you see me doing, I'm just marking 1 inch on that my pattern paper. On that 1 inch line that I'm making now, that is where we will take all of our straight measurements. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to take from that shoulder point. The line is our shoulder point. We're going to use it as our shoulder point. From that line to my shoulder point is 12. From that shoulder point, sorry, to my bust point is 12 inches. As you can see, I'm just marking 12 inches. From same line to my underbust, I want to mark my underbust measurements now. All right, from that shoulder line to my underbust measurement is 15 inches. As you can see me marking, okay, it's actually 15.5 inches. Okay guys, use your applicable measurement. So from that shoulder line to my waist, all right, this is it, is 19 inches. All right, from shoulder to my waist is 19 inches. So I'm going to just mark all the lines and then connect them at once. Okay, so I first of all mark from the shoulder to my bust point, which is 12 inches, from my shoulder to my underbust, which is 15.5. I also mark from shoulder to my waist, which is 19 inches, and I'm just going ahead to connect all the lines. All right, so this one I am connecting now is my waist, shoulder to waist measurement. So guys, from that waist, all right, before then I'm just going ahead to label it. This is very important. This is my bust point, then this is UB, my underbust, and then this is the waist. Then from the waist I will come down by 5 inches. Remember, this dress has a Basque effect, so this extra 5 inches is going to be for that front Basque, all right, or known as empire waistline. A lot of people call it Basque, some call it empire waistline, depending on what you know it as. So I'm just going to mark there as my FL, which is my full length. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to include my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will input it there. We don't really need this measurement, but I just want us to draft a basic body so that you will understand it very well. Okay, so I just came down there by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'm just going in with my neckline 3 by 3 inches. This is really not necessary, but of course you need to draft it so that you have an idea of what you're doing. Drafting your basic bodies when you want to sew any dress is very important so that you will understand what you're doing. So I'll just come down here by 8.5 inches or thereabouts. So let me see what I marked there. I think it's 8.5 inches. This is how I achieved it. My bust is 43. This is a big bust. 43. Okay, let me see. My bust is 43 inches. Divide by 6. Okay, plus 1.5. That is 8.5. So divide your bust by 6 and you add 1.5. It will give you the measurement for your armhole. So just come to that line and impute that your shoulder measurement. Make sure it's on the same line so that when you draw this line, it will be straight. Okay, bring down that your shoulder measurement to that line. It will make it straight. Then go in with your bust circumference, 43 divided by 4. I'm going to write down, mark whatever it gives me on that line. Okay, on that my armhole line. Then I'll just divide this armhole line into 2. This is it. I'll just mark the midpoint. See the way I folded my tape. Then I'll come in by 0.75. All right, I'll just come in by 0.75. Okay, then I'll just connect the 3 points. I could go in by 1 inch, but this is an off shoulder, right? My armhole, I don't want it to be too open. Okay, so but if it's not an off shoulder, you can actually do 1 inch. I usually do 1 inch when it has a sleeve. Okay, so I'll just go in now with my bust span measurement. Your bust span measurement is the distance from one nipple to the other nipple. Hence, some persons call it nipple to nipple. So my own is 4.5 inches, which means it is 9 inches divided by 2. You get it? So it gives me 4.5. So I came down by 1 inch on that bust line so that your bust can sit very well. You don't need to connect your bust directly to your bust point. Come down by 1 inch. It will allow your bust to sit very, very well. It will not be struggling. So I'll connect it like this as you see me connecting. And then this part we're about going into now is the contouring. I marked 1.5 inches on that side, and I mark 1.5 inch on the other center front. So the side front, I marked 1.5 inches. That is what I'm connecting with my curve ruler. Then the center front, I marked 1/2 inch. All right, everything makes it 2 inches. Okay, mind you, this bust is a bust 43, and this is perfect. No matter how big your bust is, even if your bust is not as big as mine, it will still be okay. So I just marked exactly what I marked on that under bust. I brought it down to the full length, 1.5 inch on the other side, 1/2 inch on the center front. I'm just connecting it straight, nothing serious, nothing magical. All right, so this is where my off shoulder will start, from that shoulder to 5 inches, because I don't want my bust to be revealing. Guys, this dress covered my bust so well. It was at the top of my bust. It was so seated very well. No part of my bust was revealing when I tried it on. Okay, so that is why I didn't want it to go down to 6 inches or 7 inches. So I'm just connecting that line straight up to wherever you want your off shoulder to start. Okay, so just go ahead and tighten that place with 0.75 and 1/2 inch on the center front. Then grab your ruler. Okay, you don't have to use a completely straight ruler. You see, the ruler I used is not completely straight and is not curvy, so just a little bit slant. Connect it from that your bust point up to your upper chest. Okay, that is your tightening. It will make your cloth not to gape. So for the center front, I came down by 1 inch. This is me trying not to reveal anything. You can come down by 2 inches or 3. The more you come down for that curve, the more you reveal things. You can even leave it straight, it will still be fine. Then I'm going in with all of my measurement now. I'm going in with my under bust measurement. Then I'll replace this dart intake. All right, I'll just replace it there. I'll also impute my waist measurement divided by 4. I'll impute it. Then I'll replace whatever dart intake I have on that waistline. I'm trying to see, then I'm going to replace it also. Always replace your dart intake. Very, very important. The rule of that says whatever you take, you have to replace, except on some rare occasions. Okay, so just go ahead with your ruler like this and just connect it the way I'm connecting mine. All right, so this is it, guys, for the front. So on this bust point, I'm going to mark 3 inches for my bust my bust dart. I will tell you why during the course of the video, why I use 3 inches. All right, because the back and the front are not the same length, so I use 3 inches for my bust dart. So I'll just go in with my scissors, guys. I'll just cut it. All right, I'll cut it out. I'll also cut it out like this. Just cut it exactly how you see me cutting it. Follow all your curves, follow all your lines and all of that. Okay, so this is it, guys. I will also show you how to close the bust dart. So I'll just go ahead and continue cutting. This is the armhole part. This is the side front. I'm cutting it out. So I'll just extend this my bust dart line, just the line, okay, because I want to achieve something. I want to cut the bust dart, so I needed to extend that line. Notice that I did not cut down my side. I did not cut the side yet. Just close the dart like this. Is how to close the dart. All right. Just get your masking tape, your sellotape, and just close it. Make sure you don't cut it off completely, but cut it up to the tip so that it will lay flat. Okay, so you will not be struggling with the paper. When you close it, you will notice that your line has shifted. Grab your ruler, just watch what I did. You're going to through this pattern. You're going to redraw the line. Connect the side line back to your armhole, just like this. I connected the side line back to my armhole. Very, very easy, guys. Whenever you close your bust dart, there is every likelihood that that line must shift. You need to connect it back. If not, your fabric will be shorting. So this is it, guys. This is the side, this is the center front. We are done for it. We are done with that. So I'll just go ahead and check. This is, I have 5 inches on that line, mean that my strap for the front will be 5 inches from my shoulder to that line. Okay, is 5 inches. You saw what I just measured, so you need to write it down so that when you're doing your strap, you know the amount of fabric you use for your strap. Okay, so I just joined the side front and the center front together. I'm using my masking tape to hold them together. Make sure the waist align, the underbust align. We're going to come down from this our waist. I'm leveling the center front and then the side front. I'm coming down from this waist, from the side. I'm coming down by 1.5, and then I'll connect it with this ruler. I want it to be a V. I'll just connect it straight to, I'll connect it like this as you see me connecting. All right, so this is the basque. We have formed the basque for the front. Okay, so guys, if you have watched this video up to this length, please like it, share, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please do well to subscribe to my channel. So for the back, this is it, the same thing, the shoulder measurement, the just normal thing that I did for the front. So I'm just trying to impute the bust measurement here at the armhole line. Okay, then I'm just connecting it. I've imputed my bust measurement. All right, then the next thing I'm going to do now is just to go ahead and take all the long measurements. What do they call it again? Is it vertical or horizontal? So I marked shoulder to bust 11, shoulder to waist 16. Yes, the back waist is usually shorter. The back waist is 16 inches, while the front is 19 inches. So from that 16 inches, I will mark 5 inches for my basque. Exactly what I did for the front, just that the front waist was 19 inches long, while the back is shorter by 3 inches. You see it, so please pay attention. Okay, so this is my bust point, this is the waist, and then this is the full length. Remember, this is the back pattern, guys. Your back is usually shorter than your front. Okay, don't use the same measurement. So I'm going in with my nipple to nipple measurement. All right, that is 4.5 inches. The same thing with the front. The nipple to nipple measurement is constant. All right, so I just came up here by about 2 inches from the full length because of the nature of the dart. You will see why I did that. Then I will mark 0.75 on this side and also 0.75. That is my dart intake. Okay, so I'll just connect it like this. Is a fish eye dart known as diamond dart. It's called a diamond dart. So I just connected the diamond, the first diamond. Then I'll use this my armhole line as where I want the off shoulder for the back to stop. Okay, I'll just use that my armhole line. Right, no, the front I came down by 5 inches, but for this back is 8 inches, 8.5 inches, as you can see. So I'm connecting the remaining part of the diamond. Okay, this is our diamond dart. Then I'll just extend this line because we're going to cut through it. So I'm just going to extend it to the full length. All right, then the next thing I want to do is just to impute my measurement and of course return that 1.5 inches dart. Okay, that dart there is 0.75 times 2 is 1.5 inches. So I'm returning that dart, very important. So whatever I have on that waist, I will also bring it down to this full length. Exactly what I also did for the front. Whatever I had on my waist, I brought it down to the full length. Don't use your hip measurement there so that it will fit you very well because it's not up to your hip measurement. You can actually measure that part, but if you use whatever you have on your waist measurement, maybe you I just add it on that full length. All right, it will give you that fitting. Then for the zipper bulge, I'm coming in by 0.75 as well, just to eliminate any zipper bulge that will be at the back. All right, 0.75, and I'm using this ruler to connect it straight to that our line, this our armhole line that we extended. Also connect it down. Just notice how I place my ruler. You need it to be curvy at the down part. All right, you don't want it to be straight, guys. My camera didn't record when I was cutting that pattern, so I needed to show you guys how I cut out the back. I had to use another pattern that is exactly like that one, just this cutting part. I needed to I would have skipped that part, but I just needed to show you this is how you will cut your zipper. That your zipper part, this is how you're going to cut it. Then this is how you will cut this part. It's not that other pattern, all right, but it is exactly the same, just that this one has sellotape and some alteration. So this is how to cut that your back that, all right. I didn't want to skip so you will not miss out on anything. So let's go and cut it out on fabric. So you see this center front now is on fold. I folded it on my fabric. Very important, your center front is always on fold, unless when maybe you're doing something like a zipper or thereabouts, you can, or button, then you can separate it. Then I'm adding allowances, half an inch allowances, half an inch. All this side I've been marking so far is half an inch. Okay, when I get to the side front, I'm going to use 1.5 inches. You can even use up to 2 inches, guys, especially if you are turning like with lining like me. I use lining to turn it, so I needed up to 1.5 to 2 inches allowance at the side, so I added 1.5 inches. But on the other parts, I added all these places I'm marking right now, I added just half inches. Only the side I added 1.5 inches. You can make yours 2 inches even, but 1.5 was perfect for me. It was okay. It was more than enough for me, and I sewed exactly the amount of allowance I had because I usually mark before sewing. Okay, so just go ahead and cut it out just as you see me cutting. Make sure you check all your allowances to be sure they are correct. Okay, so I'm done cutting on the fabric. So this is the back pattern, guys. I'm also marking half inches here, except for the zipper side. I use, we didn't add zipper allowance when we were doing the pattern. So this is the side center back. I'm marking it now. Notice that down part I made it straight. Don't make it pencil like the Basque. Did you see how I made that center part, the down part? You have to be straight because you will fix zip there. Make it straight just as you saw me doing. I mark 1.5 inches allowance on that zipper side, okay, because I'm going to use the lining to turn it before I will now fix the zipper on the lining. So I needed like 1.5 inches allowance for that zipper part. Okay, just cut it out like this. I'm trying to just trim that zipper side to give me that look. Okay, it wasn't looking like what I wanted, so I had to just adjust it. So go ahead and just adjust it and then cut it out, guys. So I'm done cutting it out, guys, both on my fabric and on my pattern paper. On my fabric and on my lining. So I'm marking 1 inch here down. I'm just marking 1 inch. This is from the padding. So come in here and mark 4.5 inches, your nipple to nipple. My own is 4.5 inches, so you can use 3 inches or 3.5 depending on your nipple to nipple measurement. So I'm just connecting it to that 1 inch up, and I'm connecting it to the under bust. Exactly, stop at the under bust and stop at 1 inch before the upper part. This is for my bust part. I'm going to use it later. We'll use it later in the video, so keep watching, guys. So I just came down by 1 inch. I just eyeballed it. I just came down by 1 inch for the center front, and I marked the under bust again. All right, so I will show you. So for the part, this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using, this is called a warding. I have a lot of this. I use it for my fashion school and all of that. So I'm just going to cut out this. This is the center front. I'm not cutting on fold. I just spread it under my warding. Guys, this my warding is light. If you have a big bust or making your bustier for someone with a big bust, go for the lighter warding, because if you use a very thick one, the thing, it will be too much on them. Their breasts will be too big because it will be like you over padded it. Okay, to be like you over padded it. So you don't even need a bra foam. You don't even need to use a bra foam to pad this. This wording is okay. You can still use it to pad the main padding. Don't need to go and start using a bra foam, especially for somebody with big bust. You can say my bust is 43. So if I use this wording and then still use a bra foam, my bust will be all over the place. It will not even be fine. It will just be looking unnecessarily big. All right, so just go ahead and cut it out like this. This is 2 pieces for the left and the right. Okay, so this is it. I'm done cutting for the center front and for the side front. 2 pieces for the side front. So for that padding now, you see what we marked earlier, just go ahead and cut it out. Okay, I'm cutting it out now. This is for the padding. Then for this center front, I'm cutting from the under bust. No, I will not cut that place. I will leave it. I will leave it. I will show you why I left it later. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to also cut that padding on my wording, not bra foam. I'm not using bra foam. We can use bra foam if the person's bust is not that big. Okay, but there's no need. All right, there's really no need for that. So just go on this center front, go up by 1/2 inch. All right, just go after cutting it out, go up by 1/2 inch. That is this particular one for padding. Go up by 1/2 inch. All right, and then just slant it to the side like this so that that center front will be curvy. This will help your padding to relax very well at that center. You will not be having any folding. So I'm just trimming the upper part. Okay, for this upper part, I'm still going to trim it off. All right, so this is how it will be. Just place it like this and iron. Then this is the upper part for the center front. You see it? You see that center front that I trimmed by 1/2 inch? You see how it's curved at the underbone? That is how yours should be. Now I'm just trimming off this so that I will have that 1 inch allowance at the upper part. That 1 inch is the allowance I talked about. So that by the time I finish turning out everything, it will be perfect. Then for the lining, no need of using, what is it called? That's wording, because it will be too thick. You might not even be able to sew it. Okay, what I'm using here is even paper stay. Paper stay, yes, or you can use that cotton stay, that very light one. All right, for your lining. Then for the padding of the lining, what I'm using here is called a collar gum. This one is strong. You can use a collar gum or a peplum stay for your lining. That is when you're padding the lining, guys. This is the center front of the lining padding. I'm using a collar gum. You will still see it because I will iron it. So keep watching. You will learn a lot from this video by the special grace of God. All right, and you will apply them and they will work for you, and you will have lots and lots of customers and students. So I'm also making that 1/2 inch mark. I'm also slanting it. So this is my paper stay. You can use cotton stay, that very light one. All right, or whatever one you have, as long as it's not too thick. Okay, so this is my collar gum. You know, I cut out collar gum. This collar gum is for the lining. Remember, for the fashion fabric, we use the wording. We did not use collar gum for the fashion fabric. Okay, but for the lining, we are using collar gum and a lighter stay. Okay, for our lining. So that is just, I'm just hammering it because this thing will help your bustier to come out very, very well. Okay, so let me just open it up. I notched the underbust and I notched the upper part. I like notching and labeling a lot. I don't used to form professional or pro, so that I'm not going to make a mistake now and I'll forget what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so this is how we're going to place it. Don't worry, we will still iron it. I'll iron it on it, you will see. So make sure you leave a 1 inch space at the upper part. Very important. You know, this thing is very thick. Okay, very, very important. So these are the fashion fabric and these are the lining and all their participles. Their particles. I'm done cutting out everything. And this is a hemming gum. We'll be needing it. We might be needing it. Okay, so just have your hemming gum handy in case anyone refuses to iron on your clothes. You just add your hemming gum under and it will iron by fire by force. Hemming gum will humble that fabric. Okay, so this is me. I'm just trying to check again. We're going to add hemming gum to that one if we want. All right, that's if it refuses to gum, if our steam iron refuses to behave well. So this is me ironing the lining. I'm emphasizing more on this lining because that is where we are going to be adding our collar gum or peplum stay. Okay, I'm just ironing the paper stay or the stay. Yeah, I'm just ironing the stay on the lining. I'm done. Guys, you're not seeing the stay because it is the same color of my lining. It is black. My lining is black. So they are almost the same thing. In fact, they are the same color. That's why you're not seeing the difference. So this is my collar gum now. There's a part of this collar gum that gums. Make sure you gum that. It's that part you're gumming to the wrong side. Okay, so that it will not go and gum to your iron. Make sure you leave 1 inch allowance at the upper part and make sure it stops at your underbust. Okay, if you feel there is no space at the side, make sure by the side you leave your sewing allowance. Don't gum it up to your sewing allowance so that to be able to turn and relax. You know, collar gum is very hard, so you need to leave all those allowances. Very important before you iron it. If you feel you did not leave the allowance, place it like you saw me doing and then trim it off. Trim it off very, very well with your with your scissors. Okay, use your tape and check it. Make sure you have half inch or at least 0.75 allowance at the side, so that by the time you sew with half an inch, you still have like 0.25 there, which is not harmful. It won't do any harm. Okay, so this is me ironing it. This is a steam iron. This iron is a very, very good steam iron. Like, I'm even surprised I'm not seeing the steam on this video as I'm doing this voice recording. So I'm just ironing it very well. Then for the side, I've gone ahead to do it. You can see that I marked the half inch allowance by the side, and I started placing my pad exactly on that half inch, and it stops at the under bust. This is how to get perfection when you're making clothes, not just by guesswork or by eyeball. It takes time to do all these things. It's going to take a lot of time to do all these things, but when you do it, you will like the result. So this is my fashion fabric, and this is my wording. Let me just place it. The part that has the gum goes on the wrong side of the fabric. I usually like to do this when I turn it to the right side of the fabric. After placing it, I just use my iron to touch it on the right side of the fabric. It makes it gum faster. Okay, it makes it gum faster. But for you not to burn your clothes, if you're not using a steam iron like me, once you're sure you've held it a little bit to your fashion fabric, just use a little iron as I'm doing, then turn it to the other side that has the wording. Now this side, now I can even leave my iron on it for a few minutes and my clothes will not burn, because I'm ironing on the wording. Okay, I know the wording has a little layer, about 0.2 inch layer. Okay, so it will not burn your clothes. So avoid over ironing on your fashion fabric so that you don't even overstretch it. So place this one. Now make sure you leave half inch allowance, the same way we did for that other lining. So I'm just going ahead to mark my half inch allowance so that I will place it exactly on that half inch allowance. Guys, if you do this, even the sewing of the clothes, it will be it won't take your time, because you already marked it on your table. When you go to your machine, you keep running the stitches, and before you know it, you're done with the clothes. So I'm just going ahead. I'm going to add my hemming gum, although it has a gum to it, and I'm going to place the part that has a gum, but I still want to support it with hemming gum so that it will be fast, because at this point I was already tired. My baby is already crying. Everybody is looking for my attention. They want to do this, so I'm actually in a hurry at this particular point in time. And also this video has become very, very long. All right, so this is me just placing my iron there. You can see the steam coming out of my steam iron, because I need to humble that fabric. I need to humble that wording. I need to submerge it into the other one so that they will almost look like one piece of fabric. Okay, so that it will be seamless. I don't want the line showing. Okay, so this is it. I'm done ironing it. See how perfect it is, guys. This is so perfect. Okay, which is how I'm going to sew it. I'll also sew this part. Okay, so guys, I'll just go ahead and also sew the back part. This is where the zip will enter. This is it. I'll go and sew this side. This is the dart part. Okay, this side I'll sew it. If you have any excess at the hem part, just go ahead and trim it. I'm going to trim that part of a little excess at the Basque part. So this, guys, see, I am done sewing it here, but trust me, I have not even ironed it. I just brought it out from my machine. This is how it is standing. In fact, let me take off the lining that has a collar gum so that you won't say, it's a collar gum that's making it stand. This one does not have collar gum attached. See how it's standing, guys. I have not ironed this clothes. I just brought it out from the machine and I'm showing you. So even without ironing, you don't need to go and pad, add layers and layers and layers for your you're going to spoil your work. Just learn how to contour your underbust very well and you're good to go. Okay, this is the lining. It has the collar gum, and the interfacing I use here is paper. It's very, very soft. It's almost like nothing, yet the lining is still standing. Okay, so go ahead. This part now is very important. This notching part, you need to notch it very, very well, especially at that curved part, the bust part, and the under bust. Somebody said on Facebook that after making bustier, that her bustier usually squeeze at the under bust. Girl, you need to do this. Just make sure you notch your bustier very well after joining and give it a good press. Guys, this video is even very fast because of course it's a tutorial now. I can't keep you here for 1 hour because you're watching a tutorial. So I have to, speed it up in some places. But trust me, this particular process you're seeing took me, this video was like a 3 hours video or thereabout, and I have to edit it down to this point. So it's a very long process, but it is worth it. Okay, so make sure you give it a good press. You see my my ham, I put it under the fashion fabric and I'm opening it up. I'm just opening it up and I'm ironing. It will hurt you. You might get burnt, you might get steamed, but just keep using your hand to mold that bust part. Mold it in a circular motion, just the way you see me doing. If you don't have a steam iron, don't worry, just get whatever bottle water, perforate it, pour water inside, and use the sprinkling method. Okay, make sure you sprinkle enough water, but don't bait the fabric. Don't go and soak the fabric inside water, but make sure you sprinkle enough water, and then use your dry iron and dry. It will also help it not to get burnt. Okay, because if you have enough water on your fabric, before it get burnt, the water will at least cool down the iron. Okay, so but in my own case, luckily I have a steam iron, so this is what I am using. I took my time to do this, guys. I ironed it so well. Like, I humbled the bustier. After ironing itself, the bustier was just like, which can't be this? So you need to take your time to do this. All right, I'm doing this for one side. After doing it, I'm still going to go on the other part of the bustier and I will do the same thing. I will iron it open very, very well. I'll make sure everything lays flat. After doing this part, I will still turn over to the right side and I will still do the same. It doesn't end on this wrong side, but it starts here. Then you can still do finishing on the right side. So this is me also doing the same thing for this other side. Guys, like this video, share, leave a comment, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more sewing tutorials, and please turn on notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please do well to follow me on Instagram at Amasolon Stitches. You can also follow me on TikTok and Pinterest, Facebook, all over the platforms, social media platform. It's Amasolon Stitches. Guys, I told you this thing, I took my time to do it. You notice that this video, I speed it up. It is on speed, yet I am still doing this. So imagine if I hadn't speed it up, that means it will take the whole day. So this part of ironing the bustier is also very, very important. You don't want to, play with this part. Okay, so after ironing off the bustier, the next thing you want to do, you can decide to trim this off. The excess they can decide to trim it up, but I did not trim my own off. I just left because I wasn't even in a hurry. So guys, I'm done ironing the inside. This is me just trying to do one or two finishing at the outer part of it. Okay, so guys, for the strap, all right, the front strap is 5 inches, the back strap is 9.5, that is about 14.5, right? But you're going to minus 1.5 inches from your strap so that it will tighten up very well, so that it can hijack the person's boobs. Yes, and it will not be falling off. Especially somebody that has big bust, you want to minus 1.5 inches from the person's strap. Okay, so that you'll be able to hold the person's bust. So my camera didn't record that part where I was braiding that one, so I sewed it together like I demonstrated, and I just went ahead and just sewed it. Like, you can get someone to hold it for you, or use your machine footer to just press it down and twist. Okay, or braid. I'm just braid. This is a loose braid. It's very simple. You can use any inches, 5 inches on fold, and the length depending on the length of your strap. Okay, so after doing that, this is what I'll have, and then I've gone ahead to sew it because my camera didn't capture that part. My memory was full and I did not know, and I was busy recording. Okay, so just place it on that dart line. Make sure it's on the dart line, and then place your lining on it. Okay, then you see the lining, right side facing right side. This is how it is. Okay, make sure you mark it. I marked 1/2 inch. I used 1/2 inch to sew it. Okay, let me show you. I used 1/2 inch to sew it, and then I added a hemming gum. Are you seeing that thing I'm touching? Is a hemming gum. It will help you when you want to iron the clothes. It will help you hold it down very well. Your lining will not be popping out where your fashion fabric will be seeing it. Okay, so that hemming gum is very, very important. By the time you iron it, it will just lap on its own. Then I'm cutting out this excess. I don't need this excess again, okay? I don't need it. That place is even loose. So that was why I put it inside very well so that I will trim it off, okay? So I'm cutting it out, guys. We don't need that excess. So the next thing you want to do after this is just to go ahead and sew it, okay? Sew the other the side. Okay, let me see it. Let me just close it up so that we'll see the next thing we're gonna do. Okay, see what it looks like. See how tight and how firm. I've not ironed that upper part because there's a hemming gum there. By the time I iron it, you will not be seeing that lining. Everything will be inside because of the hemming gum. All right, so this is what it looks like, guys. So the next thing I want to do now is just to go ahead and sew the side. All right, by the time I'm done doing everything, you will see what I'm talking about. Let me just also show you that part. So I'll just sew this armhole part with 1/2 inch. I will sew it, close it up 1/2 inch. This is the front. Remember, the back is a different fabric. Then I will sew that side with 1/2 inch. This side 1/2 inch. This side also 1/2 inch. Okay. So okay. So I'm trying to measure the length of my strap is 13 inches. I minus 1.5 inches. So I have 13 inches. Okay. 14.5. I just removed 1.5 inches. I shall know that what I want to use finally is 13 inches so that it will be tight. So I place my lining on the right side and I place the strap on the that part of the lining, and I am placing the fashion fabric on top. This is exactly how I'm sewing the back strap, exactly how we did for the front. So I will sew all this side I'm just touching. I'll just sew them. The same thing I showed you for the front. I will sew everything. Okay. I will sew everything. Make sure you place your lining under for the back pattern. Place your lining under, then place your fashion fabric. Then your strap will be in the middle. I'm done sewing it. You see how neat it is, guys. See the strap, see the front strap, see the back strap. So this is so neat. I use 1/2 inch to sew it at the top, and I use 1/2 inch to sew the side. Then here I'm going to sew it with 1 inch. Remember, our side, what the allowance we added is 1.5 inches, right? I've used 1/2 inch for turning the lining. Then I'm now marking my 1 inch for the side. So whatever allowance you left is what you're going to sew. Or better still, please take your measurement or your client's measurement to be sure. All right. Then for the Basque side, this is it. I'm folding my fabric into 4. I folded into 2 and I went ahead and folded it again, making it 4 fold. This is for the Basque, the down part of the fabric. So 19, my half length, plus 1.5 is equals to 20.5. 1.5, I came down from my waist by 1.5 for the Basque effect. Everything is 20.5. Okay. Then the full length of this gown I'm making is 58 inches. Then minus this 20.5 from 58 inches. Okay. It's going to give me about 37.5 inches. All right. Then 37.5 inches. Then plus allowance for hemming the down. All right. Then for joining the basque to the upper part. Okay. Everything is going to give me about 39 inches or thereabout. So I'll just cut 40 inches. I'll just approximate it to 40 inches. Okay. Give and take. I'll make it 40 inches. This is for the basque effect. Okay. So this now I'm marking 4 inches. Just minus the full length minus your half length, whatever it gives you. That is the small mathematics we just did now. So don't get confused. So I'm just marking that 40 inches and I'm connecting it as you see me connecting like this. Then I'll come to this part. Okay. I'll mark 4.5 inches. It's a basque. Is high low. The front is low, is high low. So I marked 4 inches there. Then I'll use my ruler. I'll just connect it just halfway, not up to the tip of the other side, just halfway. Sorry, just use the first line. The second line was an error. So the first line, I'll just go ahead and cut the first line like this. Okay, let me see. So I'll go in with my scissors. I'll cut the down part first. This is my length, the 40 inches. I'll just go ahead, I'll cut it. After cutting this 40 inches length, I'll go ahead now. I will also cut that other 4.5 inches. Is very important so that everything will be equal, and also it will be easy for you to sew that basque effect. That is why I came down by that 4.5 inches. You see the shape it will give. By the time I open up this fabric, you see how the shape of that basque, everything will form. It's easier. It also saves you from slash and spread method. But if you want to do slash and spread method, it's still fine. So I will notch this part. It's very important to notch so that you can evenly distribute your gathers. After notching it, I'll open it up. When I open it up, I will go to my machine. I will run a gather stitches on it and I will gather it. After gathering it, guys, I will now fix it to my the upper part. So let me just open it for you so that you will see what I'm trying to say. Let me open it, especially that basque effect. You need to notch it. Okay, so this is it. You see, it has already formed that curve, that center front and side center back curves. You're going to see it. Meanwhile, okay, so this is it, guys. This fabric is 3 yards of fabric. Okay, it's 3 yards of Ankara fabric. This particular one I use for this gathers is 3 yards, just in case you're wondering. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just gather it on my machine, then I'll come and fix it like this. And guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. Guys, please like this video, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel for more sewing tutorials. So this is the dress. I know you have seen it at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning of the tutorial, and here I am showing you again. All right, just feel free to ask any question in the comment section. I'll be there to take all of your questions. See you in the next one. Bye for now.